Alright guys, this is the Shapes tutorial. So today we are going to make a really cool superhero poster and yeah, we're going to manipulate some shapes. So this is what the tutorial looks like so far. It might have changed since you look at it. But this is mostly because it starts out as the same as some of the other tutorials you've done. So one thing I have changed is I moved the shortcut keys to the front. Okay, because I want you guys to get used to using the shortcut keys because you're pretty much going to be doing the same thing at the beginning of every exercise. Okay, so first of all, let's open up Photoshop, and I need to Command N for new. I'm going to call this superhero, and I'm going to make this the size of a sheet of paper. Okay, so that's going to be inches, and of course 8.5, 8.5 by 11 is the size of a sheet of paper. And since this is print, we're going to use 300 resolution. Okay. So I got this, and if you want to use my mode, I am in full screen mode with menu bar, but standard screen mode is fine too. Okay. Alright, so let's do first things first. Let's go ahead and search for a nice image. So I can go ahead and search for, you could do superhero silhouette or Batman silhouette if you know specifically which one you want. There we go. Okay, and just like usual, you click on Images, Search Tools, any size, large. Okay, but for today, actually, yeah, let's go ahead and do large. Okay. I know there's some nice ones when you do the small version, but it's always better to use high res. Okay. So I don't know which superhero you guys are interested in, but I personally like Batman, but I think today I'm going to do Superman. I guess it depends on what I can find here. Huh. You know what, let's go back to small and see if we can get I'm going to go hit back. Because these are really nice, even though they're not that big. Let's see, 500 by 700. These are definitely too small. These are not too bad, but let me see. I think there was a nice Superman one down below. Let me see if I can find that Superman one. Okay, so this would be a good one right here, although the size is a little small. But then again, we could always clean it up. If you really need to use a really small image, you can just clean it up, I guess. Okay, this would be a good one, although it's a little actually it's way too small. This looks nice. If you could find that in bigger, that would be good. I'm trying to think, where's the Superman one I had earlier? Oh, here it is. Okay, and this one is, how big? Oh, this is large. Okay, so this is perfect. I'm going to use this one. So you just click on it, go View Original Image, just to make sure you're getting the biggest version, and click and drag that into Photoshop. Alright, Command A is to select all, Command C is to copy, and Control Tab is to switch over to your other design. Here we go. And then Command V to paste. Alright, so I'll just throw him in here at the bottom. And I'm going to make him bigger. So hit Command T. And I'm going to hold down the Shift key. And Alt is optional, but you can also hold down the Alt Option key. And that makes it work twice as fast. Okay. Tell you what, let me hit enter. I'm going to change my, I want to make this a horizontal layout. And the way I'm going to switch it is I'm going to go to Image, Canvas Size, and I'm going to switch these two. So this is going to be 8.5, and this one's going to be 11. So use Canvas, this is Image, Canvas Size. Proceed. And now I can just move my stuff. Here we go. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I want only the black. Okay, I want everything else to disappear. Or actually, what I want is the blue, this dark blue, to disappear. Okay. So I'm going to grab one of my selection tools, probably the Magic Wand tool, or some people have pretty good success with the Quick Selection tool. I don't usually use this one, but let me try it today. Yeah, it's not working for me. Let's do magic wand tool. Okay, it didn't grab everything I wanted, so I'm going to turn up my tolerance. Change this to 30. A little better. Okay. I'm just going to click and then hold down the shift key and then click again and then again. So you see how that's like shift click? It helps you out, okay? So it makes you do multiple selections. And now, just like in the second tutorial, I'm going to mask this off. So it's the mask button. Now, you see what it did there? It took out Superman when in fact I wanted it to keep Superman and get rid of everything else. So what I need to do is just go to my mask and hit Command I. Okay, so Command I changes all your blacks to whites and all your whites to blacks, which is exactly what I want. And now, just like in the last tutorial, I'm going to go and paint my mask so I can clean it up a little bit. See how I need some cleanup down here? I'm going to use a hard brush. And size is pretty good. And I'm going to turn my opacity all the way up. I want 100% opacity, 100% hardness. And this is fine. This is going to make it to where make it pressure sensitive. Okay. Now I want to zoom in, and I'm going to clean it up. All right. I'm going to paint with black on my mask. Make sure you have a white square around the mask, not the layer. I can make it a little smaller. Pretty simple stuff. The closer you get, the better it'll look. But you always need to zoom out a little bit just to make sure it looks right. Okay, so I'm going to zoom back out. Looks okay. See how it looks a little wavy in there? So I need to straighten that up a little bit. So I use the X key, but you can also use this button right here, this little switch right here. This will switch black and white. Or you can press X on the keyboard. Okay, so white will reveal, X will hide. Oh, so not X, black will hide, white will reveal. Okay. Alright, I think that's good enough. So I can kind of clean this up a little bit. Cool. Alright. Next, I want to throw in a nice sky background. So I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to search for dark sky, which I've already done. And I've already found the one that I like. I like this one. So I'm going to click on View Original Image to make sure I get the high-res version. And I'm going to click and drag that into Photoshop. Okay. Command A to select all. Command C to copy. Control Tab to switch back over. And then Command V to paste. I need to change my layer order a little bit. Drop that underneath. Hit Command T, and I can blow this up. I'm holding down the Shift key to keep my proportions, and the Alt key also to make it. What the Alt key does is it makes it to where it goes around this thing. Okay. If I let off the Alt key, you can see I have to do each corner. But if I hold down the Alt key, it does both at the same time. Okay. And okay, how's that look? Pretty good. Okay, so just hit enter and you'll be done with the transition. Okay. Now what I need to do is I'm going to get rid of this light blue. Okay, and the way I can do that is I'm just going to go to Image, Adjustments, Hue, Saturation. You probably won't have this problem because you'll probably use a perfect silhouette. But for me, I'm going to turn down the saturation to make it a little less colorful. Oh, you know what? I'm on the wrong layer. Got to choose this layer. Image, Adjust, Hue, Saturation. As you can see, Superman is now turning black and white. I'll leave him with a little bit of color, but I'll make that color a little bit more blue. There we go. Hit OK. Alright, now you're going to type in your text. So I'm just going to use the type tool and then type in Superman. But I do not like that font. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to Google Fonts and get a better font. Okay. So I want to type in I'm going to go to Google Web Fonts or google.com/fonts. And you want a nice blocky font, a thick font. Okay, so I would use thickness and crank it up. And I'm going to use this one right here, Alpha Slab 1. Okay, so the way you do that is you can add it to your collection, or you can click on Quick Use. Pretty much the same thing. Okay, so I'm going to add this. That's already in my collection, but you can click on Add Alpha Slab 1 to your collection, download your collection, and then download the font families in your collection as a zip file. Okay, so you can just save that. I'm going to put that in my downloads, S. McMillan. Downloads. Double click that. Save. You should see it down here at the bottom. Oh, I know this is Chrome. You guys don't use Chrome, huh? That's okay. You'll just double click it. Just keep double clicking it until it asks you to install the font. Okay. So you open up the folder, and then open up the folder, and then double click the .ttf or OTF, depending on what you have. So Alpha Slab 1, double click that. Install font. Once you install the font, you're good. Okay. You now have that font in your list. But just remember the name of it. Mine's Alpha Slab 1. Okay. Of course, I need to save my work, so I'm going to hit File, Save. Superhero, good. Dropbox. RPSDs. And where's composite folder? It's not in order. Okay, composite. Okay, superheroes, so save that. Somewhere you can find it. Okay, now you need to shut down Photoshop because right now it's not going to have Alpha Slab 1, which I can show you. So you open up character, you click on this drop down box. It'll be in there for mine because I've already installed it, but for you, you need to shut down Photoshop. So save your work and then quit Photoshop. And then restart Photoshop so that it'll install that font. Okay, we're almost done. But this next part is the most important part, so pay attention. Okay, so Photoshop is starting up. What we're going to do now is we're going to type in our title, make it really big, and then we're going to modify one of the letters. So go to File, Open Recent. It should be at the top, Superhero. Change it to View Mode. Okay. So now you should see a character palette. If not, you can go to Window, Character. Okay. And then choose your type layer and change your font. If you're using my font, it'll be Alpha Slab 1. Alpha Slab 1. Nice. Okay. I can use the Move tool. I can move it around. And I can make it bigger. I can either do Command T or I can type it into here. I want to make this 120. Zoom out a little bit. And it looks good. Okay. Now I'm going to duplicate. So now what I want to do is I want to modify this. But to modify it, really it's better if I keep the original. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this layer by clicking and drag it into the new layer icon. So now I've got the Superman copy. And for this one, I'm going to go to Layer, Type, Convert to Shape. So that way I can modify the shape. Okay. And now what I want to do is grab the Direct Selection tool. So these are shapes. Okay. Shapes. These are all the shape modification tools. You get your pen tool to create shapes. Text type is automatically shapes, or they work like shapes. And then these two guys right here. This is Path Selection tool and Direct Selection tool. Direct Selection tool allows us to click on particular vertices. So for instance, I could click on this corner here. You guys see how that square turns black? I don't know if you can see that or not. But they're really small, but they turn black when you click on them. And if you hold down the Shift key, you can click on multiple ones. So I'm going to grab all the bottom parts of my letter N. Okay. Now I'm going to hold down the Shift key and press the down arrow. and it moves it down. See that? Or I could use a